Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Call of the Sea, where last time we learned something. You and I, we learned something we were doing wrong. And that was, and by we, I mean myself. And that was my approach to the puzzle. My approach to the organ puzzle was problematic. I was looking at as like switches you need to put, like a bunch of clues that lead to switches that need to be pulled. But the eureka moment that I had wasn't figuring out which switches need to be pulled. Like what the solution was. My eureka moment was what led to the solution.
I can see that giant diamond-shaped thing really close from here.
Like, figuring out that what I was doing wasn't trying to come up with the solution. What I was doing was trying to...
Took me a while to get here, but the views are worth it.
Yes. But what I was trying to do was to activate the organ. I was actually trying to figure out how the machine worked, rather than activate the machine.
It feels really good. Are these figures singing like a choir?
And I wonder if that's going to help me, as I go farther into this game, is not necessarily try to look at the puzzles as, you go here and you need to pull this switch and that switch in this order. Like, consider like a Resident Evil puzzle. Like the original Resident Evil, one of the big puzzles was the portrait gallery. The clue is push the buttons in the order of ages. And so you go around to the portraits, you figure out what the order is, and then you push the right buttons, and that's it. But with the organ, the clue is, okay, this is what the organ does. This is how the organ does it. So, with any luck, this mindset will help.
Looks like a rock slide crushed all the tents. All but one.
Will help me deal with upcoming puzzles.
A torn picture. Maybe the Polynesian guide didn't like people taking pictures of his scar.
Considering that she's wearing gloves to cover up her skin disease, I'm sure she understands.
The only tent that came out of the rock slide in one piece is the one filled with amulets.
Weren't they handing out amulets? And people were like, no way. Mr. Franklin Drayton, we acknowledge receipt of your letter of July 30th, and closing your application for admission to our School of Engineering. I am sorry to inform that we are not authorized to consider a colored person for admission. I regret that we cannot help you in this regard. University of Racists.
They didn't accept Frank in the university. They should be ashamed.
Amongst other things.
Oh dear. Oh, I'm sorry, but art has never been your thing, old pal.
To be fair, art isn't exactly my thing either. Like, I wish I was better at drawing and illustrating, but I just haven't put the time and effort to become better at drawing and illustrating. So... Ooh, was that a clue? Let's see, what combinations have I done? So I did left, left up, down. That should be all of the combinations with that one. Although I wonder if I have to have, like, multiple of these, things going on. Or if I'm essentially just searching, slowly searching. Well, let's carry on. That way we have a better understanding of what machine we're attempting to activate. That, I think, is like that extension of theories from the previous set of puzzles. What are we trying to activate? Probably something that uses all of these different contraptions. Is this the thing that he was building? The thing that, like, it sings out a chorus, I would imagine.
1 2 1 2 testing. Nope, doesn't work. So I guess you used the notes from the organ and they weren't the right ones.
I'm so stupid. Such an arrogant idiot. That rock slide could have killed everyone. And all thanks to my stubbornness.
Dead as a doornail.
So yeah, we've got speakers lined up for the purposes.
There's a symbol inside. This door looks thicker than any I've ever seen.
And she's seen lots of thick doors. She's gone to Doors R Us, Door Depot, Door Buy, all the door establishments.
There are some sort of sound devices built around this amphitheater. Homemade loudspeakers, probably to amplify the sound.
And then we probably have one more set of clues over here. Has he tried the Song of Time? What about Epona's song? Perhaps that would have worked.
They built all this just with pieces from the beached ship. Frank sure must be a real whiz.
Good job, me. Yeah.
Those spirits are obvious in this photo. What was wrong with Frank? He looks so thin.
And she brought her copy of Moby Dick.
They built loudspeakers on top of this tower to reproduce the effect of the organ. Very clever, old pal.
Reproducing the effect of organ. Loudspeakers generator.
Nakal? So this is like Atlantis, but in the Pacific Ocean, right?
According to the legend that said, the continent Mu sank into the Pacific thousands of years ago. Its massive stone structures, generally irregular in shape, contrasted with the unique use of diamond shapes. This is reminiscent of other rhomboid symbols such as the Lasange or the Hindu Lakshmi star. However, experts believe that in the specific case of the nasal structures, instead of representing fertility and prosperity, the rhombus was a sign of transformation and evolution.
Harry's convinced the answer to my illness lies inside that temple.
I'll have to use the ship's turbine and juggle with the things I got from the ship to make this work. Let's see if I manage to power the whole set just with the scarce materials that I have. He built this all in a cave! Oh, okay, so we got ladder. And I believe this is back to the beginning. I think. Yes. Let's see what's up top of this thing. Oh, that might be important. You know, the farther on we go, though, that I'm starting to wonder exactly how far Harry and the expedition team got. Because we're still seeing the things that they are gathered, but at the same time, it's like their path has closed up behind them. Like, are they still alive?
No power.
Alright, it looks like the first thing I'm gonna have to solve is the electricity. I think. And that's going in that direction. Yeah, it goes into the tent, circles around the tent. Anything back here worth looking at? No
Let's have a sneaky
photos.
snapshot. She doesn't look at all happy.
Nope. She is like, why are you taking my picture right now? Get the hell away from me with that camera. But we also have a gravestone for Frank.
Oh no! Frank died. Oh, Frank had a daughter named Evangeline. What a darling. So Frank fought in the Great War.
So long, Frank. I barely knew you. Alright, we've got a waterfall. Definitely don't fall into there.
They built a turbine to generate electricity under the falling water, but the stream isn't close enough to the wheel. These levers connect those gears to direct the wheel's energy into the turbine.
So then how do I get the wheel into the water? Oh no. More puzzle elements. So these don't seem to move just yet.
Blood-soaked rags. A Bible. It must have belonged to Frank. He thought it was a flesh wound, but it kept getting worse.
I tried to do something with this wound from DeWitt's attack. No matter what I do, it still looks infected. I feel worse every day. Oh, is this when the doctor went crazy and stabbed him?
No power.
Okay. So, first problem I need to solve is how do I get the... that into the water. Then I need to flip those switches, most likely, in order to flip those switches. Oh, hold on. It does seem like there is something that is being affected. And that is the position of the wheel in the back does seem to affect. So as long as the wheel is, the circle is on the bottom part, that seems to be what I need in order to pull a switch, but it doesn't stay down. Which makes me wonder whether if I have the thing in the water, would that help keep the switch in place? Well, let's see if there's something else we missed. Because there's usually something.
Homemade loudspeakers. Probably to amplify the sound.
Oh yeah, we never bothered looking up at that thing. Right there. Can we? Is that meaningful? I guess not.
I'm really sorry about Frank. Harry doesn't have many friends. When you finally do get to know him, he's so witty, so funny. A loving person. But it takes a lot for him to open up.
Because there's something about the way this game kind of presents its story. Like, its story kind of gets blended in with the exploration and the search for puzzle-related material. I don't know if I passed anything up. Or if there are still elements of the puzzle that I need to be looking at. Well, I suppose one thing I could guess right now. So this shows that symbol with that on the left. So what I could do is hit that. And then... Can I pick up anything from here? Alright. So, and then...
I like singing so much. Harry and I often sang together. When my condition got worse, Harry thought it wasn't a good idea to make unnecessary efforts. And we stopped singing. I know it was just for my own good, but my illness caused our whole lives to revolve around it.
And then... That's on the bottom, so... And then we have this over here, which is on the right. And then we have this over here, which is up top.
Did these stone columns just vibrate?
Ah!
Amazing! The hatches are opening.
Excellent. Which means that the water has risen and the wheel is probably turning now. Yes, it is. Excellent.
Now the wheel is moving.
All right. And now let's hit up the next gear. And then the next one.
Huh, that was easy.
That was easy.
These buttons seem to adjust the amount of energy that goes through the turbine.
Oh, is this one of these puzzles? What can I do to possibly get this done? No, I don't think that was the one I wanted to hit. If I hit that one, that'll turn off. There we go. If I just keep hitting
give the turbine some energy.
these buttons at random. Alright. Do I hit both of these levers?
I did it. Now everything should be powered.
Well, first I'm going to need to go over and hit this switch, I believe. And then I think I need to go over and hit this switch. Yeah.
Oh, what? Did I do something wrong? Come on, work. Come on.
Ah, plot-related unconsciousness. I was wondering, what was going on. Although I presume now we're having a dream. A horrible dream.
Now what? What's happening this time? Where am
We're in the skeleton graveyard from the movie The
I?
Lion
I can feel
King.
the fever rising. Oh God, no! My illness. Is it coming back? Was this an ocean? An ocean that dried up. My cane.
Huh. What am I looking at?
Air is so dry. I need to find water.
I wonder how much of this island is just a metaphor for her suffering.
My bed. Another memory of my illness. How many times did I think I was going to die lying in this bed?
Although maybe that's just the nightmares themselves. Like the nightmares where she sees that creature off in the distance is just her fear of that illness.
Find some shade before I dry right up. The horseshoe-shaped pillar. And that diamond shape again.
And in the distance, a house, which is definitely not an illusion, hallucination, or a mirage.
I can't take much more of this. I feel woozy. Is that a house?
Yeah, seems perfectly normal.
That's not a house. That's our house in Inglewood. Am I dreaming? Or am I just losing my mind?
It could be both. You can. Those aren't mutually exclusive.
Harry? Are you home?
Well, looks like I got that water.
I miss you so much, old pal. I am definitely losing my mind.
You ever
I don't understand what is happening, Harry. Are you...
You ever have dreams in which you question the reality of within the dream? I usually don't. But then most of the time I'm just late for school, not knowing where my classes are.
The Everhart twosome. What a duo. Harry gave me this necklace after one of his scavenger hunts.
And what do we got here?
It's a photo of my mother and me. She had just gotten worse from her illness.
Is this a genetic thing?
The happiest day of my life. And one of the few pictures of Harry without his glasses.
That is true. When he was getting married, he didn't want to see his wife, so he didn't wear his
My
glasses.
mother's music box. Yet again. Checkmate in 3 moves.
Greetings from Yanflay.
Cousin Robert? But I don't have any cousins.
Wish you were here.
What a sweet melody.
That is a fairly pleasant melody. Or should I say jingle at that point? If it was a full song, then I might call it a melody, but for something that's just 4 notes, those are a very pleasant set of 4 notes. Are those the 4 notes I'm going to have to play in order to get into the mountain? What was it like? Da, 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 da.
What was that? Another vivid dream? And my music box again, but it wasn't broken anymore. And what a catchy tune.
Huh. Well, the ladder's broken. Shall we find that microphone?
I've lived more in these last 2 days than in the previous 6 years. With my illness, I'd forgotten about the kind of person I am. I might not be daring, but I am determined. Love gave me strength, but it also gave me something to lose. These drops of rain are so refreshing. Feels really good. Are these figures singing like a choir?
Hmm. Are you ready?
I haven't sung since I got sick, but let's give it a shot.
Ah, and then the timing of the different speakers creates that kind of almost a reverberation.
That was quite a show.
Very much excellent, excellent performance. The audience demands an encore presentation, but we've got more game to go through.
This feels like hallowed ground.
Like, when did the walls close behind our intrepid explorers?
Are they bathing him in black ooze? His hands are changing, like in my dream.
Yeah. Now he is more a man than fish. But you can see the webbed fingers. And there he is becoming even more
Look
fish-like.
at those spots. They look like mine.
And now he's become more of a
Now
merman.
he's some sort of man-fish?
Or maybe he's become a fish man.
Fish of every size and shape.
Formerly men, now fish.
This looks like the same kind of elevator that was in the campsite.
Upper floor, tunnel, ground floor, another elevator mechanism.
These patterns look too familiar.
Common patterns in fishes.
She sounds worried for him, I think.
Harry's been up there for 3 days now, and he isn't responding. What did he find? If I could go up. What's preventing her? Or him? Well, she said she sounds. I guess there are only so many crew members left. After the doctor got crazy, Frank died, Roy died.
Where is this taking me?
Up.
Looks like I'm inside the giant fish head that I saw from below.
Huh. Alright, let's start here. What can I look at?
Well, this one was easy, I think.
Transformation evolution.
My dear old pal. Nora. I wish I could write something else. But a long time ago, I promised you I would never lie to you. So here goes. There is no cure for your illness. What you carry in your blood is changing you, and it will keep changing you until it's done. Whatever that means.
You will
There's
become a
nothing we
fish.
can do to stop it. My dear old pal, my partner, the love of my life. I am so sorry. I've made so many mistakes. All those deaths because of me. Frank, DeWitt, Roy. All for nothing. Maybe Teodoro is right. Maybe we can return to the beach and build a raft to get back to Papiete. Maybe in less than a month, I could be back.
Huh.
There's no cure? But he didn't finish the letter. What did you do, Harry? Where are you? I know for sure that you didn't go back home, so what? What do I do now? Are you still on the island? I have to find you. God's blood. Does this mean that... Is this related to me somehow, to my disease?
Those who have God's blood are transformation, destined, inevitable into a water plus animal to eternal life, live forever.
So that's how you mark the symbol's orientation.
Rotating the north in the wheel causes the symbol to change quadrant. Okay. Maybe that makes sense? Yes. I think.
This one was really hard to figure out. Good job, Harry.
Eternal, forever, infinity. Eternal
I'm starting to
plus
understand
life.
this language.
Oh my goodness.
Well done, Harry. Boy, am I lucky that you did the hard part of figuring things out.
Word A plus word B equals AB new word. Their language works by combining different symbols to create a new one. Ideograms.
John McCormack's Dear Old Pal of Mine? Our favorite song.
Alright, let's see what we got. Can we look at these things? Yes, we can. Huh.
Harry marked this symbol for a reason. I'd better write it down.
Water animal. Liquid
I've seen this
water.
symbol in the murals several times. I guess it can be applied to both water and black ooze.
Huh. Alright, let's turn this off. What else have we got? We got blood.
Someone punched the wall so hard that they bled. Was it you, Harry?
So one thing to note is all of these have the same symbols on the wheels. So the choices for the puzzle are going to be based on the direction of the magnetic north. I have 4 wheels to spin. Oh yeah, and this was the elevator. So I don't need to worry about that. Huh, are they actually... Do they is that the answer? Right there? So the one with 1 star... Or no, is it just describing the positioning, like the default positioning? Yes. Okay, so combining symbols creates words. Hmm. So transformation... It's the black dot at the bottom plus the circle on top. Full circle, empty circle on top. And... which is that one. Plus that line. So what does that necessarily mean? If I combine the two words, two symbols, like how does that connect to what I'm necessarily looking at? Because I can't affect anything on the wheel itself, and that symbol itself... Huh. Okay. So by my calculations, there are about 256 possible positions for these wheels. I'm going to try to avoid having to go through 264, or, yeah, 66, no, 56 possibilities, and see if I could somehow figure out this puzzle by the clues I have been given. But I suppose my earlier talk in regards to the idea that you're trying to solve the machine might not help me here.
A complex pattern.
Hmm. One, two, three, four. How does that help me? Well, how about this? Especially since some of them are just part of... let's see, did I pick this up?
It's amazing how words and symbols can keep their meaning after thousands of years.
Okay, so we've got transformation, liquid, life, eternal. One is God's blood, which is a combination of that one. that one, and that one. So how does one activate God's blood, so to speak? Or, no. Okay, I think I figured it out. Where is it a repeating pattern? So this pattern is in the top left, and bottom right. So I need to have it so that the north part, this part, so that's what I'm looking at right now is top left, and bottom right. That is set correctly. That one is on the right side of 1, 2, and 3. So that means that needs to be in this position.
This is the right combination.
Oh, the other two were set fine. Good job, me. All right, what have we here?
It appears Harry didn't advance any further.
So then where did he go? I can't go any farther. I've tried everything. This isn't working. What do I need? I followed the sequence correctly and my hand. I can't get that thing to work. I need to cross the river down here. Anyway, for what? I have a feeling all that Nora needs to do is take off her glove.
Those are drums of some sort. I screwed up.
Am I playing Simon Says?
You idiot, just follow the sequence.
So middle, right, left? Left, middle, left? Right, right, left, middle? Left, right, right, middle, middle, middle?
This technology never ceases to amaze.
This drum-based technology. Alright, what do we have here? Ah, he did all the steps, but then he gets to this part.
Harry said it didn't work for him, so it shouldn't work for me either. Unless there's something different about my hand.
That she has the god's blood running
Anyway,
through her
Nora,
DNA.
You know what you've got to do.
You have to become a fish. Although now I'm reminded of another story. Like, have you ever seen the movie The Wolf with Jack Nicholson? It's an odd sort of werewolf story in that it's not really a werewolf story at the same. It's more about this man becoming
My hands.
an actual
Look
wolf.
at my hands. This is definitely not a dream. And I'm starting to doubt the others were dreams too.
right. We'll worry about exploring as a fish next time. Oh my. Got any suggestions for someone to play next? Leave it down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and have yourselves a good night.